Hey, one of the hottest topics today is getting people, getting good people, and hiring and building teams. But I think the secret is, well, stick around.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profit Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
Hey, just finished a session on team building, but we also pulled in another session that we had done with this same group, and that was on leadership. Uh, Hiring's been a challenge in these times, but I think that it's got to take a different mindset, and I think the real secret here is how are you leading them? Is how are you mentoring them? And so that's what I want to talk about today is you if you've already got a team or if you're building a team from scratch or if you're adding to your team members. I think a lot of more focus has to be put on mentoring. So let's talk about some of that. One thing I think that's vitally important is including your people in the planning process. So, some of you, to be very, very candid and blunt, you probably don't even set your own goals or your company goals, and therefore you really don't do much planning, and therefore you just show up at your business and do the work, and do the stuff. And that's probably what your teams are doing, which means they're really not all that effective. And chances are your business is really not going all that well. And so I want to encourage you to start to set goals, do some planning on how you're going to achieve those goals, and then if you feel comfortable, include your team members in building those plans. But at a very basic minimum, you've got to tell them what your goals are, explain to them what the plan is, and instruct them on what role they play in executing the plans and meeting the goals. So while you didn't join this podcast, you joined it because about you wanted to know more about hiring and building teams. I'm telling you that it starts all the way back on setting your own goals, setting the goals for the company, and planning, and then integrating that into how you work with your teams. Vitally important if you want people that are high achievers and people that will do a good job and that you'll be happy with them. Highly important and in strategic to bring them into the planning process. And again, at a very minimum, let them know what role they play and how you expect them to contribute to achieving the goals. Second, you want to have your teams and cultivate a mindset of growth, growing the business. And I believe this comes again through better mentoring. It comes through continually or continuous encouragement of people. You want to have them exploring other ways to improve the business, to do things better. You want them to be comfortable introducing ideas. Maybe it's methodologies, maybe it's technologies, but you want to help them embrace this idea of growth and expansion and doing things better. This is how you're not only going to build and develop people who are achievers, but you're going to actually then, if that's your culture that you set, you're actually going to attract better people. You're going to attract higher achievers to your team. And I know right away I can see the eyes rolling. This is Orwell's 1984. I can see you. No, just kidding. But seriously, there's an old saying about, what if I train these people and they leave? And I would counter by saying, what if you don't train them and they stay? Okay. Do you want high performers? And a second thing you want to do here is to create a growth mindset and continually encourage them to look at things differently and bring ideas. A third thing is, and it builds on this one, but you want to develop your people. It builds on that second one. You want to develop your people, and I have always found the best way to develop people is to have regular sessions with them. And in particular, give them feedback. If you've now shown them what their role is in achieving or in executing the plans and achieving the goals, well, now you want to have regular sessions with them, giving them feedback on the quality of their efforts and the degree of change and improvements they maybe have to make. And this is honestly, this is a really big one. I think I'm shocked. I was always shocked in the corporate world where someone was shocked that their performance was subpar. Employees that just, oh my gosh, you're kidding me, I'm not doing a good job, you don't think I'm doing a good job. And I think if you create this systemic feedback sessions, this regular reviewing of the roles they're playing and the pieces of the plans that they must execute, then nobody's going to be surprised if you're not happy overall with their performance. And quite frankly, these things will come up in their sessions, and you should see improvement. You should see improvement. One of the ways I think, and again, this is back to planning. For many, many, many years, I've done what I call 90-day planning, and it's very, very simple. It's an Excel spreadsheet with 13 tabs, but it's a mindset of what's got to be done today, and at a very minimum, what's got to be done this week. And if you pull your teams into the 90-day planning, or again, at a very minimum, you say, here's what's got to be done in the next 90 days. Here's your role. Here's some of the actions that you need to take. Then as you have these regular feedback sessions with them, you should review the 90-day plans, and are they doing the things in the 90-day plans that they must do in order for the business to achieve the objectives and achieve the goals. One of the last things I want to do again, and it's sort of a building on these last two, and that is we want to develop them as people. We want, and a piece of that is to, who do you expose them to? Who are you introducing them to? Who else can influence them? And who else do you want, just overall, who else do you want to expose them to for their development and their personal growth, as well as, again, then when they're personally growing and developing, they're going to contribute more to your company. I was really, really good at this. I always seemed in the corporate world to get the new kids out of college, the new marketing assistants, and as I said, I just was good at that. I enjoyed that. I helped them create and their plans and maneuver the corporate world, and I would introduce them to other people that could also help them in their careers and influence their success. So I think we can do that as small business owners. I think we can bring people, if you're going to a networking event, bring them along. If you're going to a chamber of commerce for some reason, bring some of your key people, but the ones you're developing, bring them along. Introduce them to other circles. Again, I think if they believe that you're adding and giving them value, and you're helping them grow as people, and you care about them, honestly, I don't think they're going to leave. And then even if they do leave, that's okay. I've had people leave, and it's because they could go with a bigger company and they could get better benefits than I could offer them. And there were drawbacks. They agreed, there are going to be some drawbacks that I don't have while I'm working for you. But at the end of the day, they were good examples of how you cared about people and you developed them, and you were happy for them as they excelled and got better themselves. And I always was happy for people if they left. Wasn't happy that I obviously then had to make some adjustments and rehire and retrain, but I cared about them as individuals, not just what they did for me. So you want to have better performing teams. You want to have more success at hiring and retaining. I think what you're doing with them as mentors and leaders is critical. And the 4 or 5 keys are include them in your planning process. Create a mindset and a culture of growth and helping them contribute. Develop them through regular feedback sessions. Expand their networks and their contacts, showing them that you care about them and you're engaging them and you're bringing them more and helping them engage more in the company.